What's going on, everyone? You're watching RD Motoring. We've recently had a bit of cold weather up here in the Northeast, so I wanted to take this opportunity to discuss how the 2021 Tahoe fares in the snow. I've previously reviewed how the new Blazer performs in this weather, but it did so poorly that it really became a lesson in using the right tires. Now, the Michelin Primacy LTXs that are on this Tahoe should be a bit better than what was on the Blazer, but I also have a hunch that the added weight and availability of four-wheel drive will give the Tahoe an even greater advantage. I started by driving around on some side streets trying to find ones that weren't already plowed. I was out early enough in the storm that most of the roads were still in rough shape. I spent the time switching between two-wheel drive, auto four-wheel drive, which I'll call all-wheel drive here, and standard four-wheel drive. And I noticed two things. Number one, being in two-wheel drive only hurts you if you're starting from a stop. Once you're already moving in a straight line, it doesn't really affect you that much. And number two, all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive feel very similar to each other, but the auto setting doesn't leave you with wheel hop if you're making a tight turn. I then wanted to do an easy test just to see how these different modes compared, so I lined up for a short acceleration run. I decided to do 6 runs, 2 with each of the 3 modes, 1 with traction control off and 1 with it on. Just in case you don't know, like most trucks, the Tahoe is primarily rear-wheel drive. The first run went as expected. There's minimal traction here. You can even see me having a hard time as I try to reverse back into place. I'll just put it out there that driving around in the snow in two-wheel drive with traction control off may not be a good idea. With traction control on, it was slightly better, but you're still not going anywhere fast. You could definitely feel some power being cut in an attempt to minimize slip. With the next run, there was a huge improvement. There was still some slip, but you can't see it from here as it was on the driver's side more so than the passenger side, but it still wasn't nearly as bad as two-wheel drive. Fourth run was fairly similar, and again I noticed a bit of power loss, and you can definitely feel the Tahoe trying to figure out which wheel to slow down in order to get the best grip. The first four-wheel drive acceleration run was a bit different. It felt like the tires were more locked in place and were much more stable than with the all-wheel drive setting. It also felt like there was a little more power sent to the back, causing the additional spin you see here. And the last run was the best of all. Slight amount of power loss, but I felt no noticeable slip, and it didn't feel like it was controlling individual wheels or trying to figure out the surface. Quick PSA, just because you have all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive doesn't mean you shouldn't be cautious while driving in the snow or ice. All-wheel drive doesn't mean all-wheel stop, and you're still going to stop in the same distance whether your vehicle is powering one wheel or 4. To demonstrate, I got up to 12-13 miles per hour and stomped on the brakes. You can see the moment I do so, which is right here. My front right tire locks up for a split second. So now it slowly rolls to a stop, locking up each individual wheel every few feet. Still trying to stop. Really taking its time here. Literally in no rush to slow down. Almost there. And there we go. Now if the surface was dry, this would have been stopped well in frame, likely within the first few feet. Please be careful while driving in poor weather. It's very difficult to really know the traction of a surface before it's too late. But other than this, the Tahoe handles great in the snow. It feels really stable at speed and will only unsettle if you hit dense patches of hard-packed snow at the right angle. But in fresh snow, the Tahoe easily cuts through it, which allows for a good contact patch between the tire and asphalt. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. My recommendation would be to use the auto all-wheel drive with traction control on, as it only performed slightly worse than four-wheel drive and it won't suffer from wheel hop while you're turning. The traction control system does a great job of mitigating slip and doesn't immediately cut a bunch of power. And that's all I got. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like, and consider subscribing for more automotive content. Take care, everyone.